Well, Sergej Milinkovic-Savic looks like his favorite destination is Arsenal. And you never know, in the summer, this still might come to happen because it's now going to 1.5 years when this guy is being linked to Arsenal. And obviously, he doesn't want to renew his contract at Lazio, where he's playing right now in Italy. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys? And where you watching us from? United has just drawn at home against Leeds in a game that really looked like we are going to lose. Very many chances created. Leeds going 2 goals up. United pulling 2 back, failing to get in a winner. Obviously, in a game that you really saw the spirit of Manchester United. Pulling 2 back shows how good the character is, and it shows you how one player can really mean a lot of changes to the team like Manchester United, because Casemiro, the elephant in the room, is our way, and we've seen how United has been struggling in the midfield. So that is the update coming in from Old Trafford. Leeds 2, United 2. Obviously, United failed to close in on Arsenal and Man City, because if United won the game of football today, we would have been level with City and 5 points behind Arsenal. We've dropped 2 points, and the most annoying bit of it, or worrying bit of it, is that we are playing Leeds away on Sunday. Another huge game and tough game to face at the Vieira Road. So the other story we're talking about today is all about Fabio Vieira and Mikel Arteta. Gary Neville, a Sky Sports pundit, has come out and really criticized Mikel Arteta on not trusting Fabio Vieira. And he said, why do you have a player of £34 million and not bring him on, especially in the games like Newcastle and very many other games when you're needing a win? That means you don't trust the player. Lastly, we are talking about Zaniolo. Finally, his deal to Galatasaray is done and dusted and has been confirmed by AS Roma. We are waiting the final say from a team known as AS Roma. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Smash the black button that has the word subscribe. Where do you find it? Lower right bottom corner. After smashing it, hit the notification bell. That will enable you to get notified every time I upload a video onto this channel. Let's talk about Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, a player who is 28 years of age, and I think this year is making 29 years of age, but he's being linked to Arsenal. And I don't believe why. I don't understand why he's so much linked to Arsenal these days. In the summer, he was, even right now, there is a story coming in from Core Sports here via Sports Witness, linking this guy to Arsenal. They're telling us that Sergej Milinkovic-Savic will leave Lazio due to his desire to try and experience. With his decision now irreversible, Arsenal remain the favorite destination of the player, and they have taken the most convincing steps in signing him. Now, Corriere dello Sport, obviously, it's from Italy. And when they're talking about a player from Italy, you find grounds of really disagreeing what they're saying. When you don't really find ground to that, and you ask yourself, what exactly are they really doing? The most important bit of it is the player wants to leave Lazio. Ever since 2016, he has been linked to move to the Premier League. Way back, it was Manchester United when Jose Mourinho was still a United manager. Now, he's so much linked to a side known as Arsenal, and they're telling us that his decision is irreversible, and he wants the move to the Premier League, and Arsenal looks like the favorite. Looks like the favorite destination for him, and Arsenal have taken most convinced steps in signing him. Now, when when Arteta signed Trossard and was asked about the age of Trossard, he said, provided he fits in the project, experience is needed in the team. Now, is Mikel Arteta opting from signing players who are really 20 years, 23, 19, and is now opting to signing in players who are really 30, 29, 27, who are really having a vast experience in the game of football? That's the big question, because we knew that Arsenal could sign players that are really young. Look, the summer transfer window that was recently concluded last year. Fabio Vieira, 21. Marquinhos, 19. Matt Turner, 25, 26. Jesus, 25. Zinchenko, 26 years of age. none of those players was really surpassing 26 years of age. In the January transfer window, they went in for Jakub Kivio, 21 years of age, 21, 22. Then Trossard, 28 years of age. And they summed up their transfer window by bringing Jorginho, who is 31 years of age. So, has Mikel Arteta gotten to know that however much he's building a squad now, he has enough young players and he needs more experienced players as he's going to be playing in the Champions League? Because, trust me, nothing is going to stop Arsenal from going to the Champions League. They might not win the trophy. There are slim chances of not winning the trophy, like them losing to Everton. If they don't come back and beat Brentford on Saturday, then it's really going to be nasty for them. So, I believe they're in a better position to qualify for the Champions League. So, looks like Arsenal really planning to bring in experienced players, because when you look at the players they're being linked at, Dusan Vlahovic, however much is 23, but for him he's experienced. Declan Rice, experienced at high levels. When you look at how he's been playing for England, played into the Euros final 2021 at Wembley, played the World Cup until the quarterfinal when France knocked them out. So he has been playing at good levels. Played in the semi-final, I think, of the UEFA Europa League. Was it last season? Yeah, when they are knocked out by Frankfurt. And Frankfurt played which team in the final? Even forgotten it. And they knocked them out after knocking out Barcelona. So it shows you that he's having that experience. And those are the kind of players that he's looking at. Now, that puts us to a decision that maybe Arsenal is the favorite destination for Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. With his contract running out in 2024, he's looking out for a move from Lazio. The reason that's why he has not been really leaving Lazio is here. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic would rather not leave on a free in 2024 to not cause having damage to Lazio, but they will need to set a fair price. The 100 million euros wanted in the past is now a distant memory, and even hopes of receiving 50 to 60 million euros this summer are mirage. Now, when you ponder about that 100 million euros evaluation by Lazio, and the president of Lazio has come out on several occasions hinting it or sounding it out loud that the player goes for 100 million euros and you're not really letting him go. So I think that has limited this player and locked him out in Lazio a lot. Now, with Arsenal going to the Champions League, I think they've known that we need experience. If you're having Xhaka, 30 years, Partey hitting 30 this year, which other player? Jorginho, 31. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, by the end of this year, he's going to be hitting 29 years. He's strong. He can come and act as a Granit Xhaka replacement. That means Arsenal have to weigh in on Tielemans, who's really going to be a free agent, and Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic is a towering of a lad, talented, good in the air, good at scoring goals. And those games that Arsenal has seen themselves lose, especially that of Newcastle and Everton, I believe players like Sergej Milinkovic-Savic can help you pull out a moment of magic. That's what I think Mikel Arteta is looking at. But let's wait and see whether this deal is going to come to materialization, as Sergej Milinkovic-Savic favorite destination looks like London, and that is going to be at the Emirates. As he doesn't want to renew his contract is running down in 2024, meaning that in the summer he's going to be left with 1 year. That means if they don't sell him, he's going to come out and really say, I'm going nowhere, and I'm going to run my contract down, and I'm not putting pen to paper. So I believe Lazio have to do the needful and really sign him, because it looks like their financial problems will really see themselves really try to not being solved by the club if at all they really get him out on a free. So in the summer they have to find out means of really selling him, because chances of not selling him are really minimal. Because if a player doesn't want to renew his contract, then you just have to do one thing: you just have to sell him off. If not, You'll face what United first. Pogba on a free. Jesse Lingard on a free. Those are how many players? Two players. They would have gotten £30 million from Jesse Lingard in January. Newcastle wanted to buy him. They said no. Then they let Pogba go on a free. Pogba was worth like 40-50 million pounds by the time he left. So they lost close to 80 million pounds in two players for going out for free. So I think Lazio need to capitalize onto that and know they need to go on and really do what the player wants. He should be sold. But looks like Arsenal is the favorite team for them to go there. Now, there is a player called Fabio Vieira. He plays for Arsenal. Very good player. Swift left foot. I like him. Press resistant. Has a good snapshot on him. He has a low center of gravity, but he's really looking great. He was being referred to as the new Bernardo Silva. And having been referred to as the new Bernardo Silva, he comes in at Arsenal, exciting, but Arteta is not using him enough. Now, Gary Neville, a point works on Sky Sports, has gone ahead and really questioned Mikel Arteta as to why he's not using this guy enough. Why isn't he playing him enough? That's the question that Gary Neville has gone ahead to pose to Mikel Arteta. And in his words, this is what he had to say. And by the way, if you are really objective, you really have to feel what Gary Neville is saying, because he's telling Arteta that he looks at a £34 million Fabio Vieira on his bench and does not bring him on. He doesn't have faith that he's going to improve the team. That was out there. So, do you think Mikel Arteta doesn't really have trust in this guy? Because if he had trust in him, he would have really brought him in the game of Newcastle. He brought him in the game of Everton. Is it a sign that he's really trying to get more faith in him? Maybe, but Gary Neville is asking himself, why is a player worth £34 million always on the bench? That is his question. That's it. So, I don't know what you Arsenal fans think about it, but Gary Neville is posing a question to Mikel Arteta. Why doesn't he go ahead and really field a player known as Fabio Vieira, a player he bought expensively from Porto to Arsenal, and is not using him? Is he preparing him for next season? That's what Gary Neville is really saying. Then Gary went ahead to say that Arsenal don't have fullbacks that deliver really good crosses. That's it. They haven't got a midfielder that switches play, all plays like Kevin De Bruyne style crosses. They are always relying on the short bits of play around the box. Now, I think for this, Gary Neville is really going to be on the slave, because Arsenal rely onto their midfield and Saka plus Martinelli, those wide players. What they do is that they knock round passes together in the central axis such that the team finds itself attracted to the ball, hence creating overloads in the central axis and leaving a wide space for Bukayo Saka and Martinelli. Because the fact is, Martinelli and Bukayo Saka are not good at acting in tight spaces. That's it. They are not good at acting in tight spaces. So why do they do this? They really do that to see to it that they attract those players to come in and do the needful. But in the game of Everton, Coleman, who was playing with the right back, closing down Martinelli, and Mykolenko closing down Saka, we are not tricked to fall into that trap. What they did is they kept their position and they knew the men they are supposed to mark, and they marked them out of the game, and none of them had a spark into that game. Apart from Saka, that beautiful cross brought in by Zinchenko, he hit it and he instantly hit it with a curling, with a swerve, and obviously it found Conor Cody on the goal because he had beaten the goalkeeper Pickford, but it found Conor Cody and cleared the ball off the line. So as things stand, he's talking about Arsenal not having a Kevin De Bruyne, but I think they switch play very well. But the most important bit is they need more from that team, especially that midfield. And you see to it that these are the reasons why they miss Gabriel Jesus, because if Jesus is here, you'll see Arsenal really switching play everywhere. He'll come in the midfield, pick up the ball, and his dynamism helps the likes of Saka, Martinelli, Gabriel to really find themselves in better scoring position. So I believe Gary Neville might be having a point, but that is going to go to you and really know what is really thinking and really meaning. Now, lastly, as we call it a night, Zaniolo has finally joined Galatasaray. Remember, Mourinho had told him, you're not going to play any game of football at my club because you told me you want to leave. Now, Fabrizio Romano told us that official confirmed Zaniolo has signed a new Galatasaray player. Has signed as a new Galatasaray player. Now confirmed by AS Roma statement. And then the details of the deal, 16 million euros fee, plus 13 million add-ons, 4-year contract, 3.5 salary per year, 3.5 million euros salary per year, 35 million euros release clause included. So, Zaniolo has joined Galatasaray. If you've been following this page or this YouTube channel, you know to it that we've been talking about Zaniolo a lot. Zaniolo was linked to Arsenal, by the way, but I think Arsenal was so busy to deal with players who play off the right wing and are left-footed. So they were capitalizing on bringing in a Caicedo in the midfield, but they failed. So Zaniolo is really putting a 35 million release clause into his contract, and let's wait and see where it's going to be played next, where it's going to be playing in Serbia, because it looks like this is a short-term deal, and if a total team comes in through and offers that money, then he'll get off and he'll get off the ladder of Galatasaray and get sold. Remember, Bournemouth came in for him and he denied at first, and they had offered the 35 million euros that AS Roma was wanting. Then towards the end of the window, when no team really came in for him because he wanted to go to Juventus or AC Milan, his agent called Bournemouth that, is there still a vacancy for us to come and play for your team? They told them, no way, we have no vacancy for you. We've already signed in another player, and he is already here and has passed his medical, so there is no way we're going to go in for your player. So, Zaniolo to Galatasaray, shocking move because we thought it was going to come to Bournemouth because everything was done. They had agreed, AS Roma and Bournemouth had agreed a deal, but obviously Zaniolo said, I'm not going to Bournemouth. But later, towards the end of the window, he said, I want to go to Bournemouth because AC Milan and Juventus failed to come and sign that player. But he's really a very good player. Let's pray to it that he really gets himself his dream move in the summer, because that is just precautionary. Going to Turkey is precautionary because he thought through staying at AS Roma, not playing any game of football, yet there is a team that can really give him some minutes. He better goes and plays for that team to see to it that he really keeps himself fit and puts himself into the shop window in the summer. So your thoughts onto Arsenal being Sergej Milinkovic-Savic's final destination are welcome in the comment section below. Then, what do you think about Fabio Vieira not being used a lot by Mikel Arteta? It costed Arsenal £34 million, almost the same amount of money they paid for Odegaard from Real Madrid, and Odegaard is being used a lot. And your thoughts about Zaniolo going to Galatasaray on a record-breaking fee for the Galatasaray side. Rokani David is my name. I sign out for now. See you later. Good night. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Me out.